Hey everybody, I'm Sue.
And I'm Jim.
And this is Central Highlands Homestead.
Please join us in our search for the elusive elderberry.
Today we're out to 360 Farms in Oklahoma, and we're looking for new elderberry bushes to put on our property. We're going to talk to Brett, and he's going to give us some information on why we need elderberry, what's the benefits of elderberry, and some of the ideas and tips for growing elderberry. So come on and join us. Hey everybody, so we are out here at the 360 Farm. They raise elderberries and they are working on their ecology. They have developed this cattle property into a very productive land. It was a family-owned cattle operation. Brett, the owner, has lived in this area all his life. Except for short jaunts other places, but he came home with his wife and they developed their elderberry farm, and they are very proud, and rightly so, of all the things that they have done and accomplished out here.
These are elderberries that are about 6 years old, okay? And there's 3 different varieties in here, and I show people the difference from one variety to the next. This variety has a very coarse leaf, whereas these are very smooth. The variety on the left is called Wildwood, the one in the center is John, and that one over there is called West. And once they get up and in flower, you can really tell the difference from one variety to the next, how they produce, the size of fruit heads and things like that. But here's what I want to tell you. 6 years ago, I put 3 1-gallon pots in the ground here. And this is what they do. This is what you want elderberries to do.
Yeah, because usually people have just got like that one bush, or 2 bushes. They don't let it grow as a...
All the old hardwood growth, if you decide to leave it, which I recommend not to leave it, every year, every consecutive year, your fruit heads get smaller and smaller and smaller. So by removing it, these new canes will produce huge flower heads, and that's what we want it to do. We don't want those little fruit heads. We want big fruit heads. The other issue is bird depredation. The USDA has actually documented 68 North American songbirds that eat elderberries. So by removing the old hardwood growth from the prior year, we've eliminated a perch for a bird.
That's an excellent idea.
So these will come up. This particular variety gets lots of fruit heads on each one of them. But wildwood, actually, you get a big fruit head at the top, and as that fruit starts ripening, it droops over like this. And birds can't hover and eat, and they don't have the hardwood growth from the prior year to perch on to eat your berries. So we do that to cut way down on the bird down. That's why I talk to people who come to buy elderberries. Tell me why you want to grow an elderberry. Tell me the place you've got to plant them, because if you've got, acres to plant them, you don't really care about them doing this.
Right.
But if you're in a small backyard in downtown Tulsa, you don't want them doing that. You want a variety that's going to stay more contained.
Now how do they do in a wooded, forested area? Well,
They'll do okay. They need 2 things. They need to get as much sun as possible. And that causes them to produce more fruit. You get larger fruit heads, the more sun they're getting. The other thing is pollination. Right? If they're inside the woods, the wind is not getting to them as much as possible. Right? And they need to be doing this during flower.
Kind of like corn.
Yeah, that's how they pollinate, that and insects. So, when you're putting them in the woods, it's okay. That's where they happen naturally, because birds drop their seeds right at what we call fringe. Okay, that's where they'll drop their seed, and that's where they'll come up naturally. But it's not the ideal spot. You're inside the woods. Guess what? More birds.
Yeah.
when you're out in the open, and back behind her, through that first line of trees, there's an old terrace spot. You can see them coming up out there. There's over 3,000 plants. Mature plants out there on 4 terraces. They're curved.
Okay.
Through the poles, you see the power poles? Out there is 2,200. It goes all the way down to the road. And there are different varieties in different locations. So
Right.
we can keep up with what's doing what where. But yeah, it's you know, if you can put them out in the bright sun, out in the wide open, you're getting rid of birds, and you know, it's just the best situation, better pollination and everything.
For my viewers, will you go over a few of the medicinals for elderberries?
What is the benefit?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely one of the best things for viruses and bacteria.
It's like a bacterial infection of some.
Right, exactly. What we have found to be more true than anything else is simply because we've got customers who come to us to use our products for for inflammatory issues, allergy issues, blood sugar issues, blood pressure issues, and we've got all those different products, and they're kind of geared toward, if you've got allergies, one of our herbal teas works best for that. If you've got some inflammatory issues, we've got an herbal tea that works great for that. If you're worried about the cold and flu season, we have a tonic from our elderberry juice that works wonders. We sell a lot of that. So yeah, it's just dependent. And then one of the things that we found years ago when we first started working with, where do you want to put these?
We'll put them inside.
That's fine.
You grab them, Jimmy, put them inside for him.
We developed a line of skincare years ago, and the flower is just slam full of antioxidants. And I didn't realize it until I was processing drying elderflower one time, and my hands were just incredibly soft and supple, which they're normally not.
Right.
And I started doing some research. No one in the United States had even considered developing a skincare line with using elderflower.
Right, right.
But what we found was that elderflower had actually been used as a skin therapy all the way back to ancient Rome, documented to ancient Rome.
Wow.
And so they had been utilizing that in Europe. It wasn't until I actually saw elderflower perfume on eBay, which is the Walmart of the world. They had somebody in London was selling a 1 ounce bottle of elderflower perfume for $132.
Wow.
And I thought, why isn't anyone here in the States even contemplating skincare therapy using elderflower? And
There might be a few hippies, but
well, no one was doing it at the time we did it. There's been quite a few companies that have added, things to their lines instead of elderberry syrup, and that whole syrup thing brings up another sore spot to me because I'm not a fan of most elderberry syrup recipes. Most of your recipes that you see on the social media now comes out of Europe, and that particular variety of elderberry needs to be heat processed. So you have this recipe that people are utilizing here in the United States, and what you're doing is heating these berries, which don't need to be heated before consumption, and you're destroying all of the nutrient value of it by doing so.
right.
So instead of us developing a elderberry syrup, in other words, heat treating it, we developed a tonic which only has 3 ingredients in it. It has organic apple cider vinegar with the mother, Oklahoma honey, and our elderberries. That's it. Completely shelf stable, not
Right.
heat processed, didn't destroy any of the nutrients.
That's
So, yeah.
awesome.
Yep.
That is great. Well, thank you. I appreciate you doing that for me. Well, guys, we had a lovely visit with Brett over here at 360 Farms, and he's learning about his elderberry. He also has a very extensive aquaponic system that we'd like to come back and bring to you guys later. But there's some information that he gave us, and hopefully you've learned something about the plant and its usefulness and the various varieties. And we will let you know when we go ahead and put our plants in the ground. See you on the next video.